Hey everyone, wanted to take a good example of the training stream we did yesterday on Destroyers. Thought this was a pretty good game I just played a few minutes ago, just to kind of case some of the examples of what we were talking about. It just coincidentally happens that this game happened right after that, and I drew a few parallels that I think are important to note. So specifically, right here, we have me and the Udaloi. I've gotten pretty comfortable in it. I'm close to finally getting the Grozvoy, and I wanted to really showcase this game because this game was, at least I felt, a pretty good example of what you should be and should not be doing. I do run the special captain where I don't have concealment expert, so my detection's 8 kilometers. I don't find it to be too much of a challenge most of the time. On occasion, I really do wish I had it, and I really miss it. But for the most part, you can use that lack of concealment to your advantage. So right off the bat, I know I'm going to be outspotted by any DD, specifically their Fletcher, Shimakaze, Kitakaze, and Benson. They all outspot me by a lot. So you can kind of use it as an example right here. You can see my priority target jump up to 8. I've drawn all their attention, but for the most part, I'm really not afraid of many of them. I know I can maneuver around their shells. Specifically, the closest one to me was the Cleveland. The shells are pretty slow in a Cleveland, so I'm not really worried about getting hit for a while. And it was also short, and you notice I immediately turned away. I did get 8 people's attention for a little bit where they weren't shooting at any of my other ships that are spotted, probably our Cleveland, our Charles Martel, and our Iowa. I only assume they're spotted. So right here I go ahead and open up, knowing that the Cleveland can't really hit me. Not too many big threats around me right now. I can just go and try to hit, and I do struggle actually landing some of my shots as the first game of the day. I hadn't warmed up. But even so, sometimes it's still hard to hit these shots if that Cleveland's maneuvering properly. But I also wanted to really focus down this Cleveland because he's overextended. Right now he's trying to get to that gap in the B island, which it's not something I would do. And I really want to make sure that Cleveland pays. If that Cleveland gets away and goes dark, there's a huge radar right at B that we're not going to be able to dig out too easily. So right now I can still see that the only thing really close to me is whatever destroyer is in C. But I just want to keep firing at this Cleveland, make sure this Cleveland goes down, try to set fires, do my best to just make sure the not going to get dug in and stuck there. So I missed the kill there, but our Shimakaze finishes it with torpedo. So this is another good example of focusing destroyers over everything else. Later on, I actually kind of make a mistake and I don't focus a destroyer when I should have. But it worked out in the end, so I kind of got lucky there. I should have changed targets later on, and I'll point that out. So right now here, I can see just from looking at the mini-map, the direction of everything. There's not much that can hit me, at least reliably. This Montana's 12 kilometers away. It's got other focuses. I'm desperately hitting the S key to slow down so I can avoid that torpedo. And now I can go ahead and just shoot at the Montana. You notice I kind of did go near the cap to support my Shima. Luckily, I wasn't the only destroyer here that had to cap, so I wasn't put in that situation. But I was there to support my Shimakaze. I was there to help scare off the other Shima, because that's all we did. We didn't even have to win a fight against that Shima. We just had to take him away from the cap, which is what everyone was talking about yesterday, just your presence. That Shima knowing he's not in a fair fight with another Shima, me and the rest of our team are right there to support him. So their Shima has to be very cautious about going to that cap. And if that Shima does go in, we're ready to make him pay. So right now there's not much to really focus on. This Montana's pretty overextended. He's turning back in towards my team. The enemy Shima, I assume, is moved into the cap and is now capping. But honestly, that's not too big of a deal. We don't really need to focus on keeping the cap. We are losing A and losing C, but their ships are overextending at B and C. So let's make them pay for it. Let's give away those caps because we're going to get points for their kills. So I just want to try to set fires and do whatever little bit of damage I can to this Montana. So right here I should be focusing on that Fletcher right in front of me, and I'm not. I'm still trying to focus on shooting this Montana. Wish I could tell you I didn't notice that Fletcher, and that's why I'm still shooting at the Montana. For some reason I tunnel visioned in, and this is something I need to focus on, and I realized my mistake and switched to the Fletcher as soon as I realized it. Unfortunately, it's too late to do significant damage to the Fletcher, but I'll do what I can because, you know, later on, that little bit of health can make a big difference. So I want to try to do every bit of damage that I can. So back to getting the Montana killed. Trying to set fires, just annoy him. I could be switching targets to our Missouri over here, but I want to do everything I can to make sure this Montana doesn't get away. He's pretty close to our lightning. I want to try to get this Montana out of the game as much as I possibly can, which we succeeded. So now I realize, hey, there's this Missouri here. Look at the minimap, there's a Donskoy, there was a Kitakazi. Now they've, you know, suddenly appeared. Focus on the DD. Fortunately for me, this Shimakaze is moving back and forth, and my shots were thrown off a little bit. I should have seen that coming, I should have been paying more attention, but I didn't, so I still want to do everything I can. So this is an engagement where normally the Kitakaze should win, because, you know, the faster guns, they also have, or sorry, the faster reload of the guns and more turrets. However, because of the distance gap, this is a fight I'm going to win, and his teammates don't seem to be paying a whole lot of attention to me. Donskoy should be shooting at me, but he's not. Maybe he's shooting at our lightning, I don't know. Fortunately for this Shimakaze, or sorry, the Kitakaze, that the Donskoy kind of wedged him in there, and I'm going to make him pay. And this is another example of, hey, let's focus destroyers, of what not to do. Don't stick so close to your teammates. Maybe he's trying to smoke the Donskoy, I don't know. But right here, look at the mini-map, there's a little circle. I just saw where that Kitakaze was, so I'm just going to keep firing right here. Just keep shooting, landing whatever shells I can. I don't really, I could be shooting at that Donskoy, but I'm not going to do significant damage, so ignore it. The Kitakaze was weak, and I should have focused on them, and I believe I actually, in the process, shot one of my teammates on accident that was passing by. I believe it was the Kerr first. And I accidentally do that again later on, so whoops. I should pay more attention there. But now this Donskoy is overextended. And right now you can kind of see them making fun of us because they have all the caps, but they're charging at us. They don't need to. They hold everything. We have more ships, though. You can see with one of the mods I have for the team health, we have 351k health. They have 261k health. They have one less ship than us, and they're still charging at us. They don't really need to. They can hold their caps, get a couple kills themselves, and they'll be in a good spot. But they're not. So I think I accidentally shot that Neptune a little bit, so my mistake. Sorry, Neptune. Yeah, right now they don't need to be doing that. Their Fletcher shouldn't be over there. I don't know if their Fletcher got radared, or which I don't know what would be radaring that Fletcher. Shouldn't really be shooting open water right now. He has no real reason to. Maybe he's trying to get our Shimakaze. It's not a fight he wants to win because we're all in proximity to support the Shimakaze, whether it seems like it or not. The Kerr first, even the Carolina and the Martel don't really have a whole lot to shoot at. So this is where we just focus on getting our kills and doing damage rather than getting those caps, because if I run into B cap, they have good support. If I run into A cap, I could probably actually get A cap, but we have plenty of other ships around there, so I choose to focus my efforts on B cap. Where they only have a Bismarck and a Missouri and that Fletcher, which is about, you know, well, 1/3 health left, 1/4 health left actually. So I know the Fletcher's probably going to be sending torpedoes towards me. I can only assume that. I don't know when he last fired his torpedoes, so I'm sort of angling towards the Fletcher just to give the smallest profile towards where I'm expecting the Fletcher to be. And right now I want the Fletcher to shoot at me. I want to spot the Fletcher. I want to get close to him. But I know I'll win in a fight. He has such little health that even this Bismarck secondaries aren't really reliably hitting me. And there's the Fletcher, he's spotted. Immediately change my focus because who cares about, you know, just farming fires on the Bismarck at this point? We need kills, we need points. I'm not going to kill the Bismarck just yet. No, I don't need to. It's not the biggest threat to me right now. And there's a low health destroyer, so make sure you turn your focus on that. Even though I'm not reliably hitting all those shells, he's really weak. Now I'm radared again, and immediately, again, why shoot at the Bismarck? I can maybe land a couple shots in the Shima. But even more importantly, the ship that's radaring me, the Missouri, is coming around the corner here. And I didn't shoot my torpedoes just because that's a pretty narrow gap. I know the Kurfürst is coming up, and this Missouri's got low health, so I don't really want to waste my torpedoes on it per se. And another example that I don't think we touched on at all in the stream, or maybe if not enough, using AP in destroyers is a good thing to use. I mean, you know, the ship is really, the Missouri is really saturated in damage. You can see the scorch marks there. So you know, it's best to be using AP, and he's giving me a good broadside, so I'm going to be doing more damage.
Problem solved, sir.
So now is where I can kind of worry about that Bismarck. You see he's closing on my 8-kilometer torpedo range. I'm shooting torps where I expect him to go. I shot exactly where I think he might go, because I think this Bismarck's a little bit tunnel visioned. But me popping around here turns out, and I make a little mistake. I probably should have just sat in the smoke, but I wanted to get away because I know that Bismarck Hydro can get me out. I don't really want to charge Bismarck and fight him in close quarters. I can get my torpedoes going, but he does have support with the Atago, so I choose to, you know, flight rather than fight. I know I'm gonna probably land a torpedo, maybe 2, on this Bismarck, and I shoot my 3rd torpedo salvo where I expect the Bismarck to possibly go. But as we talked about, it's really just a guessing game. I can only, you know, assume what that Bismarck's gonna be doing. What would I be doing if I were that Bismarck? And do my best to predict that. And you know, torps are honestly mostly luck, and I'm pretty lucky that my team is really focusing that Atago for me. That could the Atago can do a lot of damage to me. It's got pretty good guns to harm destroyers. So I do know that this Bismarck just used damage control to stop that flood. So right now I just want to set him on fire. My guns, you know, aren't going to do big alpha numbers to him, so I could just pepper him with fire, and the most damage I could do is from fires, which is exactly what I'm doing. I've already set 2 fires, maybe even 3 on him, and this Bismarck is going down no matter what. Yeah, I could even stop firing at him right now, and it wouldn't matter. He's going down. But you know, hey, why not? I literally have no other targets to shoot at, so keep firing. Make that Bismarck die quicker, just in case maybe the Bismarck has a salvo that could really damage our Ars Martel or North Carolina. So just by us kind of ignoring the caps, realizing the advantage we had, even though we didn't have the caps, you know, earlier, we just focused on kills, and this won us the game. We could have all immediately turned towards the nearest cap, tried to capture it doing our best, but we, you know, focused on kills, because if we would have ran into those caps just blindly, just to get quick points, because, you know, caps, you know, are important, but sometimes it's not as important if the enemy is making mistakes. So just by us being patient, we were able to win this game by a big margin. So I would normally end the recording here, but there's one little bit more example that I want to show of what you can do to just kind of estimate. Right here is, I'm trying to find out where that Benson might be. I'm firing my guns just to see where maybe it's the Benson or the Shima are in my gun range, which knows, kind of gives me a little bit of a direction to go towards. If I was spotted right now, it's probably by the Shima, but the island's blocking. So I see the Shimas over there in C, wrestling with our other Shima and Kurfürst. And a little shout out to the Shima on our team. It seems like he did pretty well in holding C and doing his best. So this Shima right here is smoking up, gonna go undetected. I can see in the minimap, he's probably not gonna be moving if he is gonna change directions. I literally, again, have nothing to shoot at, so let's just keep firing at the smoke in general places too. I can guess he's kind of moving back. I'm trying to do my best to remember where he is. I'm using that circle on my minimap, and I got nothing else to shoot at, so maybe I'll land a couple shots in the Shima that'll kill him. Which is exactly what I did, and that gave me the Kraken. So just using little things like that, that Shima I knew had just, you know, was going forward, reversed. Going to be hard for him to change directions quickly when his engine's already engaged in one direction. So I just wanted to highlight a few examples of things we were talking about in the training stream last night, and maybe I'll even incorporate this into an overall video. I'm going to try a couple of new things this training stream to see if they help. So thanks for watching. Subscribe if you guys want to see more, or let me know what kind of content you guys want to see or ideas for the training stream in the future. Thanks for watching. Have a good day.